Hey guys! Well, so let's start. We're talking about post-Snowden communication today. So we had a look at some secure messengers. But first, something about us. We came along from Vienna today. My name is David. This is Christoph. And we were studying, we made our bachelor's degree in IT security at the University of Applied Science in St. Pölten. And currently we're doing our master's degree in information security. And since 1.5 years we are working for a company called CrossSec directly in Vienna. And mainly we are doing pen testing and web application security stuff. So this is where we are from. Here is Vienna, and here is St. Pölten, a small city with 50,000 people. And so we got sponsored from our university, so we have to do this. We're about 2,500 students there. The IT security department is very small, so the bachelor are, I think, 200 people or something. And the master are only 50. And in the bachelor we have 3 different focuses: forensics, networking, and management. He did the networking stuff, I did the forensic stuff. And the bachelor lasts for 3 years, and after that you're a Bachelor of Science, and then the Information Security Master lasts for 2 years, and then you're a Master of Science. And if you need more info on this, or if you want to study at our university, you can just have a look at our web page. But now, enough. Secure messengers, yeah. We had a look at 5 different messengers and investigated different things. All of them provide the possibility to create end-to-end encrypted communications or chats. Some of them provide the possibility to create end-to-end encrypted group chats as well, but I will talk about this later. So the 5 messengers: WhatsApp, iMessage, Telegram, Signal, and Line. And now a short definition: what means secure to us. So like I said before, all of these messengers have the possibility to create end-to-end encrypted communications. So that was the #1 criteria for us to have a look at them. Then, is there strong crypto in use, state-of-the-art crypto, or are there any weird crypto algorithms in use? Do they have the possibility to verify each other? So that's a very important thing. I will talk about this later when it comes to man-in-the-middle attacks, that you can verify if the correct key was exchanged with each other. The conversations, if they are end-to-end encrypted, you want to store them securely, so maybe encrypted on the device. Are there any privacy issues? So gets metadata leaked? Is it possible to intercept it and get the whole contacts of the client and so on? Yeah, so we had 5 different things which we were looking at. Some general stuff: how many users do they have, and what crypto algorithms are they using. Then about end-to-end encryption, I will explain shortly what end-to-end encryption is and how it works, and what attack vectors are there, so especially man-in-the-middle attacks. Then Christoph will talk about account hijacking possibilities. So is it possible to hijack another account by intercepting phone calls or SMS messages? Then about privacy. So is it possible to get some contacts or metadata, or who is chatting with whom, and so on. And then last but not least, insecure transmission and storage. Are there still some communications which are unencrypted via HTTP or something? And how is everything stored? But now I want to start with a short history about messaging and instant messaging. So back in 2011, WhatsApp was still transmitting the text messages via plane, so unencrypted via HTTP. Everybody in the same network could read and modify everything. And Then in 2012, they said, okay, now let's switch to TLS and HTTPS. And so it was not longer unencrypted, so it was encrypted between the client and the server. So it was not so easy to intercept, but it was still possible. Then in 2014, they discovered that WhatsApp is not enforcing certificate pinning. So this means that when you're able to install a trusted certificate on the client, you would be able to intercept the messages. So like we heard in the talk before, every client or every smartphone has a lot of trusted certificates installed, and everybody who is in there would be able to man in the middle that. So then later, this was fixed quite fast by WhatsApp. They added certificate pinning, so this means that only the certificate of WhatsApp itself is trusted, and even if you install some other certificate, it will be ignored. So this makes it very hard to man in the middle them as a third party, but I will talk about this in a minute. So then this guy came. I think everybody of you knows him, Edward Snowden. When Edward Snowden revealed the PRISM program, many users switched to alternative messengers. So they moved from WhatsApp to Telegram or Signal or something like that. Because, yeah, like you know, PRISM, the NSA has access to the servers. And if there is no end-to-end encryption in use, the messages are normally stored on the servers. And the NSA has access to them. And, well, when Facebook bought WhatsApp, Facebook is in the PRISM program. So when you think about it, when Facebook bought WhatsApp, all WhatsApp messages belong to Facebook, so they would have access to it. And yeah, they switched to apps like Telegram or Signal, but for example, Telegram got very popular through him because everybody switched to it, and now they have a lot of users from WhatsApp, and the problem is that Telegram is not enforcing end-to-end encryption, so it's only in the secret chat. And who of you uses Telegram and a secret chat only? Only secret chats? Good. Yeah, so if you're not using secret chats, it's not better than WhatsApp because it's only encrypted between the client and the server. Well, so that's it for history, and now I want to talk about the general stuff and how many users are there and about some crypto issues. So WhatsApp, the most popular messenger out there. Who of you uses WhatsApp? A lot, yeah. 1 billion active users in 2016. Now they partnered with So they partnered with Open Whisper Systems in 2014. There is no official statement of WhatsApp since then. It was announced on the Open Whisper Systems blog that they partnered with WhatsApp to implement end-to-end encryption like Signal. But WhatsApp is still closed source, and there is no crypto documentation how it works. If it's the same than Signal, I have no idea. And it looks like that there are so-called security indicators in the new beta version of WhatsApp, and then you have a little lock in the upper right corner where it says, okay, this communication is end-to-end encrypted. It seems that it's only possible between Android devices and not between Android and iOS. And we got no information about group chats or so on, if group chats are end-to-end encrypted or not. So to sum this up, still closed software, no idea what crypto is in use. So you would have to reverse engineer or something. Then I want to talk about iMessage. iMessage is default the default messaging application of iOS. And they have end-to-end encryption in use for by default, so even for group chats. So I was quite surprised that even group chats are end-to-end encrypted. They have 200K messages per second, so because it's the default application of iOS for messaging. And yeah, the crypto, they have a very good documentation. I will put these slides later online so you can have a look at those links. There is a security guide published on their website. They use strong RSA. They use elliptic curves with 256 bits. They use AES for symmetric encryption in CTR mode. They use SHA-1 for hashing. That's maybe not so good, but it's just used for integrity checking. So you hash the message and then you sign it with the elliptic curve key, and then that's appended to the message. And it seems that they don't use perfect forward secrecy because they support that if the other party is not online, they have to deliver the messages later on. And if everybody would just throw away the encryption key, it would not be possible to get the messages later on because he wouldn't be able to decrypt it. So that's the reason why they haven't implemented perfect forward secrecy, because it's just, they haven't thought about it. Telegram, like I said before, very popular through the takeover of WhatsApp. Now they have 100 million active users per month. It's not end-to-end encrypted by default, so just the secret chat. Well, Telegram is owned by a person called Pavel Durov, and the company is based in Russia. And Pavel Durov makes money by selling private data. So not quite sure if Telegram in its default settings is better than WhatsApp, but the secure chat should be better. And now we have a look at the crypto of the secret chat. And yeah, they have some homemade crypto stuff. They said, well, we have PhDs, math PhDs, and now we can make our own crypto because we are great. Yeah, thank you. They use RSA, okay. They use AES in some weird IgE mode, which nobody uses, and this mode has no integrity protection, like, for example, the GCM mode of AES. They use SHA-1 for signing, and now the signing is really bad because they just hash it and then append it to the message. They don't sign it or something, and that's because, yeah, a pseudo-MAC and then they encrypt. So normally you would encrypt then MAC. There are some attacks on this MAC then encrypt. That's very bad, and they have their own key derivation function, a homemade key derivation function, where they create the IVs and the AES keys. So, no. Don't create your own crypto. That's #1 rule in creating, in implementing crypto. Don't create your own crypto. Use approved crypto and state of the art. Signal does this quite well. They use the axolotl, I'm not quite sure how to spell this, axolotl protocol by Marlinspike. Everything is end-to-end encrypted by default, even the group chats. It's open source, and they have 1 million downloads in the Google Play Store, but I'm not sure how many active users they have. I think 2 years ago they announced that they have 10 million active users per month. Maybe now, I think, maybe 20 or 30 million active users. Who of you uses Signal? A lot. Great, great. So, yeah, the crypto stuff. They use elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman, SHA-256 and AES-256 in CTR and in CBC mode. They use two different modes because they encrypt the message again on the server. So Signal uses the Google Cloud Messaging to route the messages through the internet, and then you get the push notification from Google Cloud Messaging. And before the Signal server delivers the message to the Google Cloud Messaging, they encrypt it again in, I think, in the CTR mode. So then the last messenger, Line. Who of you knows Line? Some. It's mainly used in Japan. Since October 2015, they have something called letter signing. So that's the end-to-end encryption. They had something like this before, but now they call it letter signing. Now it's on, so the letter signing is on the default. And the encrypted group chat seems to be in development, but the documentation of the Line cryptography and everything is really, really bad. So, yeah, that documentation, they use some sort of, so they use elliptic curve Diffie-Hellman, AES, but we're not quite sure if they have something like perfect forward secrecy. It's not documented, and all in all, it's very bad documented, and that's the reason why we haven't done further research on the crypto of Line. Maybe the documentation will be updated soon, I hope so. But yeah. So then the next chapter, end-to-end encryption. How is end-to-end, how does it work, and what are attack vectors? So basically, if Alice and Bob want to communicate with each other via end-to-end encrypted channel, then they have to exchange some public keys. First, normally this is a not secured channel, so it's via the internet or something. Then they exchange the keys, and on both sides they are able to calculate secrets, and then after that they are able to exchange end-to-end encrypted messages. So that's the basic principle of end-to-end encryption. So now if we want to attack these things, how could we do that? Well, then there comes Mallory. Mallory has a man-in-the-middle position, and if Alice wants to communicate with Bob, they want to exchange messages, public keys, but Mallory intercepts it and says, hey, I'm Bob. And then Alice exchanges the keys with Mallory, and Bob exchanges the keys with Mallory. And then Mallory is able to calculate the same secret as Alice, and Mallory is able to calculate the same secrets as Bob. And now Alice and Bob are exchanging end-to-end encrypted messages between Alice and Mallory, but they think that they are chatting with each other, and they don't recognize Mallory. And that's exactly what happens when, so some guys noticed this, and then there was a blog entry in 2013 that iMessage is vulnerable to such things, and I will explain in a minute why. Because, yeah, that's some from the privacy page of Apple. So they say Apple has no way to decrypt iMessage or FaceTime data when it's in transit or between devices. We wouldn't be able to comply with a wiretap order even if we wanted to. So think about this just shortly. Well, that's bullshit. that's just not true, because WhatsApp, iMessage, Line, they all control the key infrastructure, and they have no way to verify if the correct key was exchanged, if the correct public keys were exchanged. So when we go back to this slide here, when Mallory is the iMessage server, the iMessage server could just say, yeah, I give you my keys, and you have no way to verify if Alice has the keys of Mallory, so of the iMessage server, or of Bob. So iMessage, WhatsApp, Line would be able to intercept you all the time, and you have no way to verify it. And even if you have a way to verify it, it's still closed software. So who says that iMessage or some other messenger just returns true all the time if you verify the key with each other? You would have to reverse engineer or something. So verify your contacts via secure channels. So meet each other in person and try to verify the public key hashes in person or via another secure channel. So that was my part, and now I give the microphone to Christoph, and he will talk about the account hijacking possibilities in all of these messengers.
Okay,
So,
sure.
yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I want to talk about account hijacking, so if it is possible to hijack accounts. And yeah, it is possible, because you have, during the registration process, you have to enter your phone number, and then you get the secret via SMS or a phone call. So if it is possible to intercept this, and it's possible if you have the right equipment and enough money, so by MC capture or use the SSL vulnerability, you just enter the phone number of the victim, intercept the SMS, and enter the secret, and can link this to the account. So, very bad thing. Another attack vector would be, so to explain this blog post, for example, you go with a guy to a bar, and the guy leaves his phone on the table and go to the toilet. So if you know the phone number of this guy, you just enter it during the registration process, for example WhatsApp. Then you can answer the phone call as the phone of the guy rings, so you accept the call, get the secret and enter this secret to your registration, and now you have the account of this guy. So yeah. So now the impact about the indicators for hijacked accounts. So how do you know if your account was hijacked? For Telegram, it's very nice. You get a notification. So there is a pop-up and say, hey, there's a new device linked to your account. Maybe do you want to block it, or is it okay, or something like that. For Signal, it's bad because you just check it. You just know it if you send new messages, this fails, so it's not working anymore. Because during the registration process of the attacker, they generate new keys, and then it's not working for the victim anymore. For WhatsApp, it's very nice. So if you hijack the account, the victim can't get any messages anymore, and he can't re-register immediately because he has to wait some specific time, and this time increases the more you re-register. So some kind of DOS. So you can, it's very bad. The impact of the account hijacking. So for WhatsApp, you get the group chats and the contact information which are in these group chats, so the phone number and the messengers. And for Telegram, you have the possibility to block a device, but if it is hijacked, so how they also mention it at their website, Telegram, so they store all the messages, photo, video, and documentation, and you can receive all messages from way back. So if an attacker hijacks the account, you get all the messages which are not entering encrypted, or group chats. So yeah, even if you block the new link device, as if the victim blocked the new link device, the attacker already have all messages. And yeah, there's a nice blog post from Frederick Jacobs who will talk about this. Not sure if you know about him. He was a developer for Signal Messenger, and yeah, I think you can check it out. So next, mitigations, yeah, I already mentioned for Telegram you have the for Telegram you have the possibility to define a password. So if you want to register a new account, you have to enter the password, and this password is, I hope, strong, so you can't hijack it anymore. And for other messenger like WhatsApp and Signal, yeah, you have no way, so it's kind of bad. The next one is about privacy, so how the messengers upload the contacts if they are kind of hashed or just in plain. So for a Signal, you have these hashes, so they create a hash of the phone numbers of your contacts and upload this to the server. So yeah, nice idea, but the problem with that is you have a very small range of possible characters, so just create rainbow tables and brute force it, and yeah, you get the phone number in plain. But other messengers don't encrypt or hash or anything else, they just upload it in plain, so for privacy reasons not the best thing. And Signal tried to mitigate this problem or find a solution for this problem. So there are some ideas how to do it, but there's always the problem how to make the retrieval of private information. So there would be the option to send just a database with all the registered contacts, for example, for Signal, send this to the client, and the client can check it on the client side. But then, yeah, you have all the contacts from which are registered with Signal, so not the best idea. And you have a very high network load because you have to download a big database. And so also not the best idea. Then was the idea to use Bloom filters because Signal has so many users. It's also not possible because the database is also very big, and you also have the problem that you get all contacts because all contacts are stored in this Bloom filter, and you just brute force it and get all the contacts out of it. There would be the next solution is encrypted Bloom filters. So this mitigates the problem with the brute forcing, so it's not possible anymore. And to reduce the problem with the network traffic, there was also the solution to use shared Bloom filters, the last one. But the problem is to define the size of the chunks, because if the size is too low, then you get it's also not very you can. So, and if the Bloom filter too big, the chunks too big, then you have a high network traffic, and so also not a good solution. And they also mentioned in a blog post, so it's here, if they would use Bloom filters, they have around, if each users of Signal would download the Bloom filter at once, they have around 40 MB, 110 times per second, and so high traffic. So I talked about the Bloom filter, so I want to explain the Bloom filter, what it is. This is used to test if an element is in a set, specific set. So for example, you have all the contacts, and you would want to check if your local contacts are active users. So you just check it with the Bloom filter. Problem if false positives are possible, but you always have false negatives is not possible. So if you check it and the method say no, this is not a valid contact, then it's really like that. You can mitigate the problem with the false positives by adjusting some things I mentioned later. So here this works. So you have an empty Bloom filter with a specific size. So it's an array of m bits for, and all are set to 0. You have different hashing functions. They aren't very secure. It's just to generate a position in the array. So if you have 3 hashing functions, you get 3 positions in the array afterwards for one element you want to add to the Bloom filter. And with the hashing function, it's possible to reduce the false positives. So if you adjust the hashing function that the values are distributed in the array, so you can mitigate the problem with the false positives. So, short example how it works. So you have, for example, this can be 3 different phone numbers, and you have 3 hashing functions, and you use the hashing function to generate the position. So you use the first hashing function for the first value, you get this position, then the second hashing function, you get this position, and the third with this position. And this is how to generate the Bloom filter, and then you send the Bloom filter, for example, a signal to the client, and the client can verify it. So if another phone number is mentioned with W, if it is in the Bloom filter. So it generates also the 3 values, so the 3 positions in the array with the 3 hashing functions. And then you see there's 1, also 1, and here is a 0. So this means it's not in the Bloom filter, and you knew that that this number is not a contact, a registered contact. So, yeah, next thing about privacy, I think WhatsApp, many of you knew about WhatsApp. So in WhatsApp you have the problem. Normally you can set the privacy permissions that you don't send the last online status to all your friends. So it would be nice, but the problem if the user is currently online, you see that in the upper corner. And so if you check the status and check it every second, you can just create a timeline, and then you see also if the user's, how long the user is online, which time, and create some statistics out of it. And I did this also by myself. So the example, I did it with some friends, tracked them, and yeah, some basics. So how, when they wake up, when they have lunch break, and when they go to bed. And I think when you do it for a long time, you can get many nice information out of it. And yeah, also for Telegram, first of all I thought it's not possible, not the same problem like WhatsApp, because the messengers for the smartphones don't get the information. But if you use the Linux terminal client, you get all the information, always the information if a user is currently open the application. So every time you open the application, then it sends a request to the server, and these requests can also are distributed to the Linux clients. So there's also a blog post to talk about this problem. Yeah, it's also would be possible to just write a program who tracks it all the time and create a similar timeline like WhatsApp. So the last part is about insecure transmission and the storage. How do you store the data? So first start with insecure storage. Signal, you have the database, especially the messengers in the database are encrypted with a master key, but this master key is stored on your local device, so it would be possible to extract this master key and decrypt the database, but the master key can also be encrypted with a user-defined password. So it's important to use this password so the database is really encrypted and not just by the master key, which is stored on your local device. Yeah, for Telegram, there's the problem you have no database encryption at all, so just in plain, only protected by file permissions. And especially if you have a rooted device, it's no problem to extract this database and see all the messengers. Also the PIN, there is a possibility to set a PIN. The PIN is only used if you open the application, then you have to enter this PIN, and then you can access the application, but it has no effect on the database encryption, so just stored in plain. Yeah, for the message WhatsApp, you have also no database encryption for the local database, which is used in the messenger. So also only protected by the file permissions, but the backup is encrypted. because they store so if you store it on the SD card, this is well readable, so every application on your smartphone can access the SD card. So it's a good idea to encrypt this. But the problem is that the key and the EV is also stored on the local storage, so if you have a rooted device or you can circumvent the file permissions, it's also possible to decrypt the backup, and yeah, okay, nice try, but I think not the best solution. And to confirm that, so Lime has also no database encryption at all, so yeah, also bad thing. Last one, the iMessage. Because of the fact that the modern devices are encrypted, have full device encryption by default. So yeah, you have some kind of encryption, and you didn't check if the encrypted database also. So yeah, is this protected by the device encryption itself? So yeah, I think good. So the last one, insecure intuition. We figured out that for the line messenger, it's possible to intercept. So if you have a man in the middle position, you can intercept the profile pictures, for example, and replace it if you are a funny guy. So this, and this is found some profile picture, and they also transmit the stickers which are suggested in the chat. So if you write any word in it, you get some suggested stickers, and I replace that. So yeah, if you have the man in the middle position, you can be funny and replace all the stickers you are using this chat. And also for the sticker shop, it's also replaced with a Windows icon. So the conclusion of our presentation is it's very important to verify fingerprints, so you can really be sure that you are talking to the right person. Don't trust closed source software. You can never check if it's really, if you are not man in the middle, as David mentioned. And yeah, account hijack mitigation would be great to have this for WhatsApp and Signal too. So like WhatsApp would to allow to have the possibility to enter a password, and it is protected. So it would be great for the other messengers. And yeah, use state-of-the-art crypto. So very important. Yeah, in our opinion, I think Signal is the best one. So everybody could use it. So yeah, if you have some questions, feel free to